Game Kings, the definition of game, documentary, coming soon. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, this video right here is very, very important, man. And, this is something that every guy needs to hear. Pass this video along to your friends so they, can get the game, right? So, the other day I put out a video called 10 signs that a girl finds you extremely attractive. And one of the signs I said was consistency, right? And so what happens is, I've heard a lot of guys say, oh, but if you're so consistent with the woman, she's going to get bored and all this other stuff. And so what you got to understand is the reason why consistency is attractive is because the consistency is it's dependable. And so what happens is it doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to get bored, right? Because you can be consistent and still be spontaneous, still be interesting, still be fun, but you're consistent though. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not where consistency automatically means it's boring. You understand what I'm saying? Because you could just be a boring dude and be also inconsistent and just be a boring, inconsistent guy, right? But the thing is this. I got a comment from my dude Ras Pop, and I wanted to go over this, these comments, and this video is not like me getting at you or whatever. I just want to use your comments as an example because I've heard guys say stuff like this plenty of times, and I was like, I got to do a video on this. You understand what I'm saying? And just let guys understand what's really going on, right? So, Ras Pop, he says, Ms. Locario, I got to disagree with the consistency part. If you are too consistent with a woman in terms of doing things you say you would do and always being there, she will get bored of your consistency. Women require a roller coaster of emotions that is she needs to feel happy with you, sad with you, angry with you. If she's too sure about your consistency, she will actually start taking it for granted. It sounds crazy, but a roller coaster of emotions is what they want. And then so I replied and I said, look, I've been with my wife for 14 years and my girlfriend for 4. And I said, consistency is the key. So then he replies and he says, I've been with my girl for 10 years and have 2 kids together. And I noticed being too consistent with her lowers her attraction. But the moment I switch things up by starting a fight, coming in late, or changing my mind on something I guess he's saying once in a while, raises it again. Women get bored of repeated consistency, right? So now, what made me want to do the video was that last comment where he was saying that, he switches things up by starting a fight, coming in late, and changing his mind and all this other stuff, right? And so, and this isn't directed just, specific to you. This is directed to a lot of guys who think this way, right? You have to understand that when you're purposely doing shit like this, you understand? Purposely trying to, start fights or, do certain things to get a rise out of your chick, right? Right? That right there is not healthy. You understand? And also, if this is the only way to keep your woman interested, you understand what I'm saying? That's not healthy either. You understand what I'm saying? That's not a healthy thing to do. See, when a person is responding to behavior like that, that is a sickness. You understand? And when a person is doing behavior like that to get a response out of someone, that is also a sickness. So what I mean is this. If you're trying to start shit with a chick and manipulate and do all this other stuff to get a rise out of her, the reason why you're doing that is because you think you need to do that in order to get love. You think you need to do that in order to keep someone around. You understand? And also the person who's responding to that and actually, let's say, you're doing that to the girl or whatever, her responding to that and her wanting that and her sort of, really going with that, that means that she has major insecurities. You understand? See, a person who is confident, right, doesn't respond well to that type of behavior, right? And a person who's confident really doesn't do that type of behavior to people. You understand what I'm saying? See, the thing is this, because I do agree with you when you say that women need like a roller coaster of emotions. They like to, feel all these different things. I 100% agree with you on that. But this is how you do that. And I talked about this before. It's not that you purposely, because see, this is what guys do and mess up with the game, is that you have so many guys out there who's trying to manufacture attraction. So this is what this is. This is trying to manufacture attraction. And that's never a good thing. Because when you're manufacturing attraction, what you're telling your subconscious is that in order for you to get attention, love, and affection, you need to manufacture this shit. You need to come up with these little things and purposely rouse somebody up to get them to want to fuck with you. And then in turn, what you're doing is that you're dealing with someone who has issues, because a person who has issues is the person who's going to be responding to that type of behavior. So the thing is, the way that a woman gets, goes on that emotional roller coaster is that it has to be something that's done naturally. Okay, I've talked about this before. So for example, right? You said that, you would switch things up, like starting a fight, coming in late or changing your mind on some things once in a while. And it's basically saying that you're doing these things on purpose. So instead of purposely trying to come in late, right? You actually just be late because you were doing something. You understand what I'm saying? You was hanging out with your boys. You wanted to stay out a little bit longer, and she wanted you to come home, but you was like, "Listen, I'm trying to hang out with so and so for a little while," and then now she gets upset at you, but you weren't doing that to try to get her upset. You were doing that because that's what you naturally do. See, what you have to understand is, as a man, there's going to be some things that you naturally do that's going to already get women into an emotional roller coaster. See, for example, like with my girl, right? She listens to, some of my videos and shit, and she checks out my Instagram here and there. And there's certain things that I say that piss her the fuck off, right? But I'm not saying the thing to piss her off. I'm just doing me, and she automatically gets pissed off because I'm doing me. You feel what I'm saying? My natural way of being gets her into the emotional roller coaster. But I'm not trying to get her into an emotional roller coaster. I'm not purposely trying to do certain things to elicit a certain response, and then because I'm trying to get her to stay attracted to me. You see what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is that it's unhealthy and it's a sickness, because within you, it means that there's something there that you're feeling insecure about, which is why you feel the need to have to purposely do these things to keep someone around. Like, you're not keeping someone around naturally being you. You're purposely doing things and manufacturing certain situations to keep the person around. This is why, with a bunch of these YouTubers with the pickup artistry goofiness and, all the manipulation tactics and, don't validate her and do all this and do all of that. That type of shit is a sickness. You understand? You're doing that because you have, like, when you do shit like that, that's a form of having low self-esteem. And a woman responding to that, and a woman continuously dealing with a guy because of that, is her having extreme low self-esteem. Right? Because see, this is the thing. If a chick goes on that emotional roller coaster, that should be her doing that in relation to you being authentic. Because what happens is that her going through that emotional roller coaster it shouldn't be anything necessarily to where it should be a continuous thing, because this girl actually should be working on herself so that she actually doesn't have to go on that emotional roller coaster. You understand? Because what happens is those emotions and all that other stuff, all of that is going on because something within her she hasn't really faced, or she hasn't really come to terms with, which is why she's acting that way based off of what's happening. You see what I'm saying? But if you're trying to elicit that, if you're trying to make that happen, that means that there's also something going on within you where you feel like you have to fake the funk or manipulate or pretend to get her to continue to want to fuck with you. You understand? See, it's almost like, when I talk about checking your chick, right? The point of checking your girl is to, at some point, get her to be able to check herself. You understand? The point of checking your girl is to get her to the point where she's able to check herself. So what that means is that right now you're checking her because you're like, look, this shit ain't cool. You shouldn't have did this. That ain't cool. Like we ain't gonna do none of that, right? So you want to get her to the point where before she even does that thing or does anything similar, she says, oh shit, you know what? I remember him telling me this ain't cool, so I'm just not gonna do that, right? What that means is that she's learning to deal with how she does things on her own, right? So what happens, and the reason why I'm saying that is this, is that when you're dealing with the chick, you don't want to actually try to manipulate a situation and get her riled up, right? You want her to be able to deal with reality, which is the real you, how you really are. She's going to go through that emotional roller coaster and have her deal with that. Deal with the reality of the situation. Don't deal with the manipulation of the situation, right? You're not helping her, or you're not helping yourself, and you're not helping your relationship by indulging in the sickness, by indulging in that unhealthy behavior. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, chicks, they go through those emotional roller coasters and all that other shit, but that should be something that is happening as a natural reaction to who you are authentically. You understand what I'm saying? Not you trying to start a fight on purpose, and you chilling in your car for an extra hour so you come home late, so she'll be mad and you have an argument. No. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the shit should be natural. It's just like when I say, guys be like, oh, when you messing with a chick, you shouldn't call her for a few days so that she thinks you're busy and doing all this other shit. No, how about you actually be fucking busy? You understand what I'm saying? Don't pretend to be busy. Be busy. You understand what I'm saying? Don't, manufacture something that's gonna piss her off or get her all in this emotional roller coaster. Just be you, do what you do, and then have her deal with her emotions in response to you doing what you do. See, if you're actually like an alpha male type of dude, women are naturally going to go through that emotional roller coaster because your natural inclinations to do what you're doing is going to go against a lot of the stuff she expects you to do in the first place, which is going to automatically create the emotional roller coaster, which will create the situation to where she can deal with that emotional roller coaster on her own, and she's dealing with it through authenticity. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is that when you're trying to, do these weird ass things, because look, you said, you notice that being too consistent with her lowers her attraction, right? But see, that's not really what it is. It's not about your consistency lowers her attraction. It's that you may not be doing things in your relationship to make your relationship more interesting. Right? Because you don't have to go in there and start a fight or come in late. No. How about you take the relationship into an actual positive fucking direction? You say you come into the crib and you be like, hey, listen, I got us 2 tickets to the so-and-so concert. I got a babysitter that's going to be coming through tomorrow, and we going to go in and have some fun, right? You're being consistent by being there for her and actually being in that relationship, but you're not making it boring by doing spontaneous shit, by doing different stuff, by experiencing different things. But you don't have to sit there and, let me act like this or do this thing to get her mad so that she'll have these emotions and then that's going to make her want to stay with me. Like, that's fucking crazy. You understand what I'm saying? That is crazy. And what it is, again, it's that when you do stuff like that, right? When you're doing stuff, this is why I tell guys not to lie. This is why I tell guys to not fucking, do any of these goofy ass, tricks and play all these games, because every time you're doing that, what you're telling yourself is you're telling your subconscious mind that you are not the type of man who's worthy of being with a woman who's going to actually like you for you. What you're telling your subconscious mind is that in order for you to receive love and affection, in order for you to get a girl to be attracted to you, you have to play games. You have to do these things in order to get that girl to want to keep seeing you. She can't just keep seeing you because she actually likes who you are. She only keeps seeing you because you have to keep, manufacturing this attraction. You have to keep playing these fucking games. And then what happens is that you end up attracting women who respond to the game playing. Women who are extremely insecure. Women who don't really, you understand what I'm saying? Like, feel like they're worth having a good dude. So they respond to the bullshit. Now, again, I'm not, for my dude Ras Pop, I'm not saying this specifically, towards you. I'm just saying that, in general, when guys are dealing with women, in these situations, you do not want to get into a cycle of, displaying this type of unhealthy behavior. You understand? See, a lot of times guys think it's cute to like kind of, play a bunch of games and do a bunch of extra shit and, like manipulate the chick and do all this other stuff and have the chick like chase you because you're, on purpose doing goofy shit. Understand that if a woman is responding to you because of that, she's sick. You understand what I'm saying? She is sick. And guess who also is sick? You are also sick for putting that energy out there. You are also sick for trying to get love and affection and sex and all this other shit from a woman by having to play all these goofy ass games and manipulate. That is a sickness. You understand? This is stuff insecure people do. You understand? Look, I don't want, insecure motherfuckers like out here like this, man. Like this shit like this. I'm really serious about this shit. Like I don't like this shit. I don't like to see motherfuckers doing certain things like this. It's not cool. I'm telling you it's not cool, because every time you do this, you just keep making the insecurity stronger and stronger. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of actually, being a confident person. You understand? Being positive. You understand? Like if you was to go and, do something spontaneous with your girl or whoever, you fucking with a girl, you're being consistent, everything is cool and all that other stuff. You be spontaneous. That's gonna alleviate the quote unquote boringness of consistency. You understand? If you actually are an interesting guy, that's going to alleviate the quote unquote boringness of consistency. Right? Don't think you have to do a bunch of, like extra goofy shit in order to, keep the girl interested. Right? Because again, if you're doing that, that's some sick shit. And if she's responding to that and is okay with that, then she's sick also. You understand what I'm saying? See, what a healthy person does in a relationship is that they show kindness, compassion, and love to the person they're with. Right? And if they're with a healthy person, that person receives that and also shows that back. You see what I'm saying? That's a healthy relationship. But if you have a girl who's super insecure and a guy who's insecure, and they're both, going back and forth playing these games and doing all this goofy shit, that's not healthy. You understand what I'm saying? That's sick. And those people really need to look within themselves and get better so that they can actually have a better relationship. Now, before you go, make sure you click the link below to get your free copy of the audio program, Undeniable Game. This program is going to teach you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. In this audio program, you'll learn exactly what you need to do to become that confident man women are attracted to. You'll also learn what you must do to become better at approaching and talking to women. You'll learn why women don't return your calls and what to do to increase the chances of women returning your calls. You'll also learn the only time you should call or text a woman. You'll learn how to start conversations with women. You'll learn the mindset you must have to be successful with women. You'll also learn the main thing you need to do to figure out if a woman is really interested in you, and much more. So make sure you click the link below to get your copy today.